Hello, welcome back to the Deronda Michelle Show, to the Dynamic Life Show with Deronda Michelle. Let's get that straight. I just got a question all about that namesake. And so, yes, my name is Deronda Michelle. I am Deronda Michelle Foot McDuffie from the Foot family from Towson, from the Towson area and Moncton area. Deronda Michelle is my actual name. So welcome to the Dynamic Life Show with Deronda Michelle. I'm excited about you being here. I'm so glad you have joined us today. It is Sunday and it is November and it is a little frosty out. Y'all see me dressed in with my fur and my sweater. It's because it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. But thank you for joining us. I'm excited about you being here because it's all about giving you some resources, some community resources, some business resources, those lifestyle enrichment resources that's going to help you level up in life. That's going to let you know you're not walking this journey alone. You got resources all around you, literally at your fingertips, because you are not alone. You may have been born in a space that makes you feel lonely, makes you feel a little bit of dismay, makes you feel some discouragement. But guess what? That's the time that you want to reach out to get a hold of somebody that can help you over this little hump. We call it, what Wednesday, we call it a hump day, because every day of the week we may make we may face some challenges. Listen, I'm at Security Mall, so y'all hear that noise, right? Come on down to the studio. I'm gonna be here for the next 25 minutes and you can join me. I got some beautiful red seats waiting for you. Anyway, on Sundays from 2:30 to 3, you can meet me at Security Mall. Let me know in advance so that I can make sure you have a seat saved just for you. Come and bring a friend. Over the next few weeks, we're going to have several guests. Of course, today I found out that my guest was not able to make it. And so today I'm flying solo like I was last week, y'all, but it's okay. We got some great information because we're in a Thanksgiving season. We're in a season where those who are in need should also feel embraced. Those who are in need should also feel encouraged. Those who are in need should be reminded that it's somebody out here for you to help provide a meal for you. And so with that, I'm going to make sure that I share some of the resources that have been coming my way over the past few weeks. Today, my church, Empowered Church Ministries at 1505 Bloomfield Avenue is hosting dinner for the community. If you show up at 1505 Bloomfield Avenue, there's a sign on the front door and the back door to let you know to come on in. We got a seat just for you. And if you show up, let them know that you heard it right here on the CoyoteManOnline.com. CoyoteManOnline.com/dynamic life. That's LYF as in Frank E. Let them know you heard it right here. I want you to be embraced because you're family. I don't care where you are in the world or in Baltimore, north, south, east, or west. Come on over and get you a plate. I also have the fact that Goodwill is hosting their 65th anniversary. Y'all, this is maybe our fifth, but it's Goodwill, this is their 65th anniversary. So they're hosting dinner, I want to say tomorrow. Let me take a look at my notes. They're hosting dinner. I'm gonna make sure I have the date right for you. They're expecting about 300 volunteers to join the Goodwill staff. They're going to be having dinner, and it's going to be Wednesday, November 23rd. Free dinner for the community. They're expecting about 2,000 people from the Baltimore and surrounding area to come and get a free meal. Not only that, they're having some business and work career resources. While you're there, you'll be able to do that as well. So starting at about 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., I believe is dinner will be served 11:45 to 2:45. And then the work for the community as it pertains to being work-related resources, that part starts at 11:45. No, that starts at 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. So the actual meal will be served at 11:45, but the resources for the community start at 10 a.m. And so I know there are some other places. I've asked some of my network to let me know. I know that the Ravens also are hosting their free community dinner. I believe that's Tuesday at Baltimore's Convention Center downtown. I don't even think they called, well, it may be still, but either way, it's the Convention Center, okay? Show up there, and you can go online and find information about that on the Ravens website, or just Google it, the Ravens free Thanksgiving dinner, okay? So those are the resources that I have to share. Listen, throughout this afternoon, I want to let you know some other things that are happening in celebration of Thanksgiving. How many of you get up and watch the Macy's parade? I used to get up and do that every year. And then one year, me and my husband took the drive. We made the drive up there, and it was one of the most phenomenal experiences of my life. So if you're looking to do, maybe you have some family from out of town and they just hanging around the house Wednesday, go ahead, take your drive up Wednesday night. Or I got on the road about 4 a.m. Because, you know, you never can predict what the traffic is going to be like. So we got on the road about 4:35 a.m. We got up there around 8. We hung around. The parade started. It was just phenomenal. And so I normally watch it on TV. So to see something that came to life right before my very eyes, and seeing all the big balloons and all the things from well-known shows that we're used to seeing on TV, and then hearing the awesome singers that they have in person, and watching the Thanksgiving, the ladies dancing and everything. It was a phenomenal experience. Now, I haven't done it again since, but I'm looking forward to going back again just to take my grandchildren. Do you have those traditions that you carry throughout the year, or throughout Thanksgiving season and Christmas season, so that your children can experience those things that you did? You know, my mom, God rest her soul, she left us in August. And so there are certain traditions that my mom did that I love carrying on for my family. And I expect them to learn the ropes so that they can carry those things forward as well. And so even today, as I was talking to one of my church members, and she was saying how that her daughters are not at that stage now where they're starting to cook. So we began to reminisce about those old recipes, those sweet potato pie recipes, that pineapple upside down cake recipe. And so the different things that we grew to love, that our mama and them fixed us, that our grandmama and them fixed us. And with me, it was my godmother, you know, because she was a head chef at a women's institution. And so she was a head cook. And so a lot of those traditions that I embraced, that I grew to love, they came from her. They came from my mom. They came from my grandmother. They came from my mother's godmother. Our village, okay? If you had that village, take those recipes down, begin to learn them. One of my biggest things that I'm mad at myself about this, is my grandmother gave me her recipe for drop biscuits, y'all. Oh, those drop biscuits will melt in my mouth. Well, when I got my first apartment, I had that recipe in the kitchen drawer, but do you know, as I began to pack up that apartment and move to my next place, Lord have mercy, I kicked myself to this day. I left that recipe in the drawer. I only made those biscuits one time, even though my husband teased me and said he could break a window with them. But believe you me, we ate them all up. And so there are certain recipes that I said that I was going to begin to write down. So I began to write out some recipes, begin to write them in my notebook, because I'm determined so that I can leave that as a keepsake. Because me and my cousin, we still trying to figure out how my godmother made her chicken and dumplings. Neither one of us can figure it out. And I gave my hand at the pineapple upside down cake that she used to make for us all the time. I can't figure it out. So embrace those moments while y'all sitting around the table. Begin to pull aside those grandmothers and those great grandmothers and have those conversations with them. Don't let your time just be you sitting up there on your Game Boy. Do they still even make the Game Boy? I don't even know. Look, but don't sit and waste your whole time on the video games and the television, television. But begin to embrace those conversations while you have this precious moments and time with your family. Begin to talk to auntie. Begin to talk to uncle, begin to talk to mom and them, and make sure that they pass down that vital information. We call it storytelling, right? When you seen those pictures of down the South where people are sitting on the porch and they beginning to talk and they beginning to bring things to life. One of the most precious moments that I did this past, I guess it's been about 2 years now, I got a family history notebook. And so because me and one of my cousins who was close to being in her 80s, we discovered one of the things we had in common was that we loved history, and we love Black history, and we love family history. So we began to meet and put together a plan to visit those people from our past and talk to them about different things. But she began to pour information into me of things that I didn't even know. And next thing you know, 6 hours had passed. And I'm talking about Thanksgiving traditions, y'all. Don't just let that time, don't just say, oh, it's just another holiday. It's not. It's a key time to come together with your family and appreciate those special moments that you have together while they're still among you, while they're still with you. Allow them to have that, be that sounding board for them where they can feel proud about their ancestry and be able to share that information with you. It's critical times because even coming through the pandemic and having more time in the family home, what you begin to see on the news, a fight broke out here and a fight broke out there because folks wasn't used to being in the same house together for hours on end and couldn't go out and couldn't do this and couldn't do that. So, but as we were forced to learn how to love each other and forced to learn how to come together and appreciate one another, that's another good side of what the pandemic brought. Though it seemed like a big overshadow of negative, you began to embrace that family member. You began to and strengthen that bond. You begin to make those memories. One of the things that I have, and I'm gonna get off course for just a second, is I've been a photo buff since I was about 12 years old and got my first camera. But that was after 5 or 6 hours of spending time with my grandmother, going over this huge box. It had to be 1,000 photos. And I sat there and I looked at all the photos, and as I'm looking at the photos, she began to tell me about this one and that one and all about our history and how they came to be and how my mother and father met and how my father had been married before. Who knew that? But anyway, you find out information. You find out things about your family. You find your family history. You learn those jewels and those gems about your family and the fabric of your family. And so I said that to say about this. A lot of my phones, have 3,000, 5,000 photos in it. Yeah. And so it slows it down a bit, but it's because I treasure those moments. I treasure those moments with my grands and my well, I don't have no greats yet, and I ain't speaking that yet. I want to see some weddings first, okay? But I treasure those moments that I can look back at my phone and see that I captured a moment. So it's Thanksgiving, y'all. Capture the moment. Capture the moment with your grandmother. Capture the moment with your great-grandmother, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your uncles, your aunties, your children, your grandchildren. Sit and talk about those traditions. Sit and talk about how they was raised and how their Thanksgivings were. Sit and talk about where they came from and where you're going to. Let them know you're doing those things that make them proud. See, we done lost our sense of pride. I said it. We've lost that sense of pride. We was proud to show our parents that report card. We was proud to show our parents that straight A. We're so worried about peer pressure. Get back to being proud of who you are. And I would say, if you're you're not walking out of my house with a bonnet on your head. I'm sorry to all my bonnet lovers. Keep loving your bonnets. But the foot girls, please don't be coming outside with a bonnet on your head. I don't care if it matches your fur coat. Don't come outside with a bonnet on your head. Come on, have some pride in yourself. Not saying that just because you have one, you don't have no pride. I'm saying think more of yourself before you leave the house, of where you come from. Think more about yourself, who you're attached to, the family that you're attached to. And if you're an orphan or foster care, whatever, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that life circumstances have dealt you that kind of hand. But Miss Shelley is here. Miss Shelley is here. You got an auntie or aunt or somebody who has tried to embrace you. Appreciate this Thanksgiving season. Appreciate having a warm meal, a hot meal. Appreciate that Goodwill cares about the 2,000 and some of you, but we know we got what, 500,000 or 600,000 people in Baltimore. So who else is going to step up to feed another 2,000 and another 5,000 and another 6,000 that in need and that has fallen on rough circumstances or certain circumstances because maybe they don't have a family. But for those of you who do, appreciate your family, embrace this season that we're in, because it doesn't just end on Thanksgiving Day. I said that last week. It's just a beginning. This is just a part. It does that need, that mental issue, that circumstance, it doesn't just end on Thanksgiving Day. There are certain things that you can put in place from day to day, from week to week, from month to month, that's going to help somebody. One of the things that I began to do that I said I would do as I approach retirement, I would begin to, host community dinner. And just by giving food away once a month. Well, Lord have mercy, when I did the first one, oh my gosh, it's so much work. And I kept saying, all right, I know I need to leave the house by such and such time. I know I need to go and do this by such and such time. And so as I began to put those meals together, I realized, well, I only got a certain amount of plastic container dishes, paper plates, and a certain amount of utensils, and a certain amount of napkins, and a certain amount of bags to put the stuff in. And so as I began to prep everything, I realized it's a monumental task. as we heard from Dr. Leroy McKenzie when he was here talking about McKenzie Food Pantry. It's a monumental task that they do over at Yorkwood Elementary every week. They feed about 100 and some families, not just people, but families that come to the elementary school, y'all, to get a meal. They come to get a meal. They come to get a meal. They recognize those students that show up at the school that act like they haven't had food in days, because they really, really are struggling. Families are struggling. And while we have those millionaires, I saw the other day that an NBA player, you know, there was a young girl, I can't call her name right now. There was a young girl who recently, 25 years old, her first name begins with an S, I can't think of the last name, 25 years old, went to Mexico with some friends, but did not come back. They found her in Mexico. And so right now, FBI is investigating. But I'm bringing that up to say an NBA player who had the dollars, y'all, donated $65,000 to her account to help along with the investigation, to help the family with the investigation. I'm saying all that to say it's Thanksgiving season. If you have a heart to do something in your community, don't sleep on it. Don't sit on it. Somebody's waiting for your help. Somebody's waiting for a helping hand. And you might say, well, they can pull themselves up by their own bootstraps just because you did it. Bravo to you. That's wonderful that you had the tenacity to do that, and the desire to do that, and the wherewithal to do that. Everybody's not like that. Some people are truly in need. And so I'm getting back to the importance of the Thanksgiving season, talking about spending that time with your family. Talk about the beauty of it, the importance of it, the necessity of it. It's important to embrace those moments. It's important to appreciate those moments and add value to it. Don't just, as soon as they start talking old times, you go off to another room. No, get it on the conversation. They want to hear what you got going on too. Believe me, your seniors in the family, your elders, or what we call seasoned in the family, they want to know what's going on in your life too. And they ain't just being nosy. I remember, sometimes you may feel, oh, they being nosy. Well, sometimes they are. But sometimes they just want to be concerned about your well-being and the well-being of your children, the well-being of your grandchildren. They're absolutely concerned. You know, I put on my Facebook page the other day, the art of kindness, A-R-T, and then I put the heart of kindness, a small H-E and a capital A-R-T. And I said, it's the same need. Everybody is looking for kindness. Everybody wants to experience kindness, and kindness is an art. We're going to talk about the fact that kindness is an art. You see, people hosting these Thanksgiving dinner, somebody came up with an idea because they had a heart. And then they had to establish the art of what goes into during this 65th anniversary dinner, or during this church dinner. It was hosted by our pastors, our leaders. They gifted us this dinner today at Empower Church Ministries. They gifted that to us. And so kindness is an art, and it takes heart. And so if you
We must secure our families. KFG Life Insurance Specialist is a company that partnered with 15 of the top life insurance companies to ensure you get the best pricing, knowledge, and products to suit your family needs. Some people believe that term insurance is better than whole life insurance, while others feel the complete opposite. Some may feel like universal life is the way to go, and others may feel it's better to have a whole life policy. The truth is, neither of the products are better. One just may be more suitable for your family. Our life insurance specialists are not biased, as they are partnered with several life insurance companies. This ensures our clients get the best pricing, education, and products that are suitable for their families. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist make these decisions easier for you and your family. Our office is located at Security Square Mall, next to Burlington, in the CoyoteMan Show Network. Please call to make an appointment at 443-400-5224 or go to www.lifeinsurancepecialist.org. That's www.lifeinsurancepecialist.org. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist help you prepare your family in the present, because the future is not promised. Act now.
Welcome back, you guys. You see, one thing that I learned is, as I've hosted Thanksgiving over the years, I learned that there's, kindness is an art. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about the art of kindness. And so I said the other day when I posted the art of kindness and I talked about the heart of kindness, it starts in the heart. It starts with wanting to help somebody. It starts with wanting to do more. We can just go home every day and just watch TV and do nothing. Or we could just go to work and put in our 8 and that's great. And we just come home and do nothing. But there are some people who go beyond that, who go beyond they think outside of the box, but also they think of others outside of themselves. And so the art of kindness is something that can be established over the years. One of the things that my mom said to me, for 3 weeks straight, I went to her house every day when we found out that she was sick. And so I went to her house every day. And so one of the things she said to me, she kept saying thank you. But one of the things she said to me was in reference to us caring for her. And I thought to myself, by golly, I can't help but care for you because that's what you taught me. I'm basically doing what you taught me. And so I didn't say that to her. I just said, you're welcome, Ma, but I thought to myself, we do those things that we learn and see other people doing for us or see other people doing with us. And so my mother was critical and crucial in teaching me the art of kindness. My godmother, my mother's godmother, my mother's mother. I did not want for anything growing up because I had a village of women who helped raise me. And so, but by the grace of God, I've been gifted and I've been blessed. And so it behooves me to give back. It behooves me. I can't just go to work and just come home. I can't just go to church and just come home. I can't just I have to be doing something that loves thy neighbor as myself. I have to be doing something that gives back to the community because it's just in me. It's part of my fabric of my life. It's part of the fabric of me. And so when I see other people doing kind things in the community like Goodwill, it's in their 65th anniversary where for those who just joining, you can go and have a free meal with them on the 22nd from 10 to 2. And they're also incorporating some work-life balance in there where you'll be able to get some work readiness skills with them. They're also having that as a resource while you're having dinner. And then today, my church, Power Church Ministries at 1505 Bloomfield Avenue, is 2 blocks away from St. Agnes Hospital, but they're going to be there until 6 o'clock. Sometimes people have to work on Sunday. If you're in the vicinity, bring your family, come in fellowship. You will be embraced by the people that are there. It's an art of kindness, which is a heart of kindness. And so there are people who are doing some extra. I know the Ravens are hosting dinner. They had it last year. And I remember my godson, matter of fact, who is a pastor, he also went there and volunteered, and it was thousands of people there. But one of the things I remember him saying to me is people just were astonished because they're not used to seeing random acts of kindness like this. And so, but when you've been raised to think like that and act like that and walk and talk like that, it becomes commonplace to you. But believe me, some people just are not used to seeing random acts of kindness. And so it became to be a thing. That person who pays your toll when you at the booth, next booth. Of course, things are different now because of the pandemic. But that person who pays for your meal, they standing in front of you at the Panera or whatever restaurant or whatever fast food place you're in. That person who does that random act. And so I talked about this NBA player who just donated $65,000 for the investigation of this young lady that they found deceased when she went away with her friends. And I said, take that word away. She went away with some people. She went away with some people to Mexico, 25 years old, and didn't make it back alive. And so I want you to embrace the art of kindness this holiday season. Embrace that heart of kindness this holiday season. And don't just let it be a one and a done on Thanksgiving Day this Thursday, but carry it throughout the rest of the year. Let it tip off and be the icebreaker for your January, okay? I also want to say some fun things that's going on. Holiday season, you're gathering with your family, and so you might be watching that TV or whatever. So my friend who is from Baltimore, she's now living in California, Patricia Cuffy Jones, I mentioned her last week. She has She had a show called A Wesley Christmas, which had a backup role in. A Wesley Christmas that came out on BET Plus about 2 weeks ago. You can download BET Plus and see it. A Wesley Christmas. And then, matter of fact, her show kicked off the holiday Christmas season of shows for them. But also another show of hers, The First Noel, is also playing on BET Plus now. So you can get it streaming anytime. But on Thanksgiving Day, while you gathered around with your families, can you support my girl, Patricia Cuffy Jones? I've known her since she was knee-high, as they say, to the grasshopper. Support Baltimore, one of Baltimore's own charms, okay? You know, Baltimore's known for Charm City. Support one of Baltimore's own charms, Patricia Cuffy Jones. Go on to BET Plus or just turn on to BET on Thanksgiving Day and watch The First Noel or Wesley Christmas. Come on, support my girl. And some of the things I have going on, I'm already recruiting people for The Princess Within. It's our 10th anniversary. Woo! I can't believe it's been 10 years that we've been hosting this girls leadership conference, but it is. And so I am looking forward to meeting with some phenomenal speakers, some performers, some instructors to teach our different subject matter. I'm also looking for people who will come and volunteer and support our girls. If you're a leader in the community, I want to talk to you. And so I'm going to get ready to wrap things up. But thank you again for tuning into the Dynamic Life Show with DeRhonda Michelle. And y'all see I got my Ravens purple on today. Yeah, I'm Ravenette to the core. And I'm rooting for my team because I know we're going to win it. We're going to take it on home today. And so I want you to be blessed this holiday season. Thank you for tuning in. Let somebody else know about the Dynamic Life Show with DeRhonda Michelle. Be encouraged and have a happy Thanksgiving. Blessings.